Hello and welcome to AUCTV. This is Reem Shaheed. With us today is one of the most active students in the AUC community, from majoring in mechanical engineering to landing the role of Richard, which is the lead role in this semester's play Fuddy Meers. Hisham Abd el Razek is here to tell us all about his experience. Hisham, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, how is university life treating you right now?
I handed in my mechanical thesis around an hour and a half ago, and I'm very tired.
I bet. So how did this transformation from being, not a transformation actually, for balancing between mechanical engineering and being an actor?
I wanted to do theatre since school. I did theatre in school, and I was very good with numbers, so I majored in mechanical engineering, and I declared the minor about a year in.
Okay.
I started doing plays around a year and a half into my life at AUC. And I've just been addicted since. I keep auditioning. I keep auditioning for things I don't really have time for, and I do them anyway. And that kind of affects my grades, but I'm happy. I'm balancing it just about.
But you wanted to be a mechanical engineering major from the start,
yeah.
right? So this balance, how do you manage to actually study and finish your assignments for mechanical engineering? Do you have a certain schedule that you go through every semester to balance between both?
The first semester I did plays in theatre. I found it really hectic to balance them, but with time I kind of found the balance a bit more. The thing that's common between both actually is time management, and that really helps. And so you learn that from both of them, and you can kind of work around it.
Okay. And what plays did you watch before you actually started being involved in theatre in AUC?
The first play I saw at the AUC was Little Shop of Horrors, which I loved.
Okay.
And then I saw The Crucible and Tartuffe. And then thankfully I was in Askar al-Haramiyya, and then it just went on from there.
How did you get cast in Askar al-Haramiyya?
I went to auditions and I got a call back, even though I read very badly. I read 3 lines correctly out of the 3 pages I had. And I got a call back somehow. I didn't get cast originally. And then around a month later, Lozi came up to me and he says, are you doing anything this semester? I said no. He said, would you like to be in the play? And I was totally shocked. And he gave me a 5-minute role. It was a silent role. But thankfully, people liked it, and I got a laugh out of it.
Yeah, and how did it feel for just at once you got cast in a role like a week or a month? Sorry.
A month.
Yeah, yeah.
The first time I went out to Amela for opening, it was amazing. I mean, because you just hear everyone laughing and clapping. They clapped at our entrance, myself and Fadil and Fakahini. They clapped when we came on. It was just so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what I wanted.
So, do you actually want to be an actor, or do you want to work as an engineer?
Yes,
you want to be an actor?
I'm taking it very seriously. I've done workshops here in Egypt with Luke Lenner. He's a very good acting coach.
Okay.
I've also done courses in the UK at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, and the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama. So I'm taking it really seriously, and the plan is when I graduate to do a master's in acting and then see where it goes.
Okay, then why didn't you drop your mechanical engineering major?
I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I don't want to. I know theatre majors who have graduated and don't end up working in theatre, and they end up working in something that they don't really like and they haven't really studied.
Right.
And I didn't want to take that risk, so I just carried on with what I was doing. Right. And I've done as I said, I handed in my thesis a while ago, so I'm fairly okay with that. But the plan is to carry on with theatre.
Right. So a bit of a Fuddy Meers right now, the play you're actually acting in. So can you tell us a bit about the play and your role in the play?
It's a really weird play. Okay. It's really weird. It's a black comedy, but at the end it just gets very sad. I read it in July, and I loved it. And I remember I was laughing throughout while reading, and the last 20, 30 pages, I was crying my eyes out. It's very sad at the end. All of the characters were really interesting to me, and I was very happy I got Richard. Other than the fact he's the main role, he's very complicated. He has this really difficult past that he's trying to escape from. He was a drug addict. He was a drug dealer, and he robbed houses and everything. And he tries to reform his life, and he tries to do that through Claire, through marrying this woman who has amnesia, who doesn't remember who he is every day when she wakes up, and he has a stepson who absolutely hates him, and he holds on to that for dear life because that's what his reformation is. That's how he's supposed to fix himself. And it was really interesting to go through that.
We have a little interview that we did with Yasmin Haggag, the actress who played Gretty. So let's just watch it and come back.
So my name is Yasmin. I'm playing Gertie in Fuddy Meers. And Fuddy Meers is a play about a woman named Claire. She wakes up every morning, doesn't remember who she is, and She wakes up one day and everyone in the play is lying to her about who she is. Except my character, who actually cannot speak, which is very frustrating. The audience was like so energetic and they gave us a lot of support and it was insane.
She's like such a brilliant actress. She did a really, really good job in that.
She was very good. It was really easy to work with her. She's very committed. She's very clever as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she had the role where literally all of her lines are gibberish, and she made sense of them, and she made you feel sorry for her and want to help her, and she even made you cry in some parts.
Right.
She was really, really nice to work with. She's a very good actress.
And you both actually worked with Professor Gillian Campana before in last semester's play.
We were in Lysistrata together, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
How was it different working with Gillian Campana at this time from like Fuddy Meers?
Lysistrata was more of a show rather than a play. Lysistrata had lots of things going on in it. It had balloons, it had dancing, it had choreography, it had stage combat. And that was really different because the story is kind of minimal in Lysistrata. The acting is kind of minimal. It's more of the show and how you can entertain people.
Right.
And we did that. But Fuddy Meers was really more of a play. It was more of telling a story. It was there was a plot. There were character intentions. The stakes were much higher, and that was a lot more. As an actor, that was a lot more rewarding to work in.
Okay, but back to Richard.
Okay.
Can you do the Richard voice?
Can I do the Richard voice? Of course I can.
How did you prepare for a character like Richard?
I found a lot of myself in Richard. Because Richard, the main idea with Richard is very much obsessed with control. He's obsessed with controlling what Claire sees when she wakes up every day. He's obsessed with having everything in order. He has a bit of OCD, which I do as well. He's very possessed with the idea that this is the right life for him. And when he goes for a shower and comes back and Claire's not there, he loses his mind because he starts to think, okay, I have to get her back, no matter what. And then he goes through these obstacles throughout the play and he just fights through them. He gets stopped by a cop. He smokes hash. He gets thrown into the basement at Gertie's house. He finds her ex-husband who used to beat her. And all of this just pumps him up even more and pushes him further to try and fix the situation. And as the play goes on, he starts to lose control even more. And that makes him more emotional, and that makes him more deep, and that makes him more reminiscent of the past and what he was, and how much he doesn't want to go back to that. And the idea of wanting to fix yourself and wanting to improve yourself as a person, I relate to that very much.
So earlier we were talking about that you want to be an actor. Will your parents be disappointed that you will actually quit mechanical engineering? Are your family supportive in the actor's career?
My parents are the most supportive people I know.
Yeah?
They come to all the plays. They come to all, even the ones I'm not in. You know this.
Yeah.
They come to the scenes that I'm in and scenes I'm not in as well. And they come more than once.
So did you have any actors in your family?
My dad did a bit of television, yes.
Okay.
My family has been very AUC oriented. My mother was a student here, and she's a professor here now as well. My mother and father actually met in the folklore troupe.
Okay.
Back in the 80s, here at AUC, and it's always been in the tradition of the family kind of to try and get involved in the arts. Nadine, my sister, is in J-Hop the A-Train, which opens next week.
Okay.
And yeah.
Wow, a talented family.
Yeah.
I hope you make them proud. I'm sure you're making them very proud.
Thank you very much.
So that was Hisham Abd el Razek, a student who really does it all, speaking with us about the theater, what theater means to him, his role in Fuddy Meers, the future goals, and how someone with multiple talents can generally survive the university life and excel at it. Hisham, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much.
This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching.